Hey bub, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Welcome back to the X-Centric Collector channel. I'm Talent the X-Centric Collector, and today we're going to be covering Wolverine, Cowboy Wolverine. Let's get into it.
Cerebro online.
Cerebro, pull up file Cowboy Wolverine 2024.
Accessing file. Logan 50th Anniversary 2-pack 2024. Retail price $49.99. Aftermarket price high $80. Low $49. Accessories: alternate hands, alternate head.
As I said in the Sabretooth episode, this 2-pack was highly anticipated, mostly because of the Sabretooth figure. Like Sabretooth, Wolverine came with an alternate head and hands, as well as some playing cards, which is a fun little accessory. I can't even pretend to predict what this figure will go for on the aftermarket. Whenever I try to predict what a Wolverine will go for, I end up being wrong. I'll never get over that X-Men 97 Wolverine figure I didn't get because I thought, hey, I'll be able to pick it up down the road. Lesson learned. When I first saw this Cowboy Wolverine, my thought was, I'm going to be selling it. But once I got it in hand, I quickly changed my mind. So let me show you guys what changed my mind. Let's take a look at Logan out of the package.
Howdy, bub. This is the Wolverine from the Wolverine Sabretooth 2-pack. I'm pretty sure most people, like me even, were like, I don't need another Wolverine. Let alone one in a cowboy hat, wearing normal street clothes. But then I got him in hand, and I've got to tell you, he is awesome. I was originally going to sell him, but after getting him in hand, I'm like, you know what? I have that older Sabretooth, and Wolverine's going to need a villain to fight, so I'm going to keep him, and he's probably going to end up fighting this Logan. He is a fantastic addition. You know, I don't really get excited about Wolverine figures. Ooh, he's got pins. In 2024, that should not be. But double jointed knees, double jointed elbows, all the great articulation you could want, except in a Wolverine, you normally get butterfly joints. We don't have it in this one. But I guess that's because they figured he'd be busy playing cards. Because he came with these 2 additional hands, with his claws sheathed, but you can still tell it's Wolverine because he's got those hairy wrists. But this one in particular, he came with this little deck of cards. So you can just see Wolverine hanging out at the bar playing cards with somebody before he ends up having to bust something up because Sabretooth busted in the bar looking to hunt him down. He also came with an additional head. He's got that little smirk going. I'm probably going to display it with that smirk. I'm digging that. No, but I don't know. It depends on what's happening in this scene, because in this one, you know, this one, it doesn't look like there's much of a threat going on. This one is a little more intense. I would have liked one with like an open mouth showing the fangs. Grrr, but you know, this is good. It's an excellent figure overall. The articulation ain't so great on him. Looking at this, it's about as far as he can look up. Looking down, and no ab crunch. So it's a rocker. So the articulation, you know, it's something to be desired, but yeah, no calf swivel. His ankles are on a swivel, but the pants don't let you do too much here with the rocker. So he's fantastic to look at, but his posability is going to be limited, and that's okay. I got so many other Wolverines. This one will be in a more kind of chilled scene. I got a motorcycle I'm probably going to pose him with, because these are some nice claws too. These things are clean. Look at those. Man, we've come a long way. It's a fantastic look. This is overall it's not my favorite figure. It's hard to find a Wolverine to impress me. Can't wait to see him next to that motorcycle. And again, I don't know exactly. I may have Sabretooth attacking him. I'm not sure how I'm gonna set this one up yet, but it's a nice clean figure. Let me know, are you guys getting this figure? Do you have it already? And if you got the 2-pack just for Sabretooth, are you going to sell your Wolverine, or are you going to do like me and have him in some just Wolverine on his day off display? Tip of the hat to you. Alright, let's get a little more into Logan.
Wolverine, first appearance, The Incredible Hulk number 180, 1976. Created by Len Wein, writer, John Romita Sr., artist.
Alright, quick note. There are so many Wolverines, you may want to skip ahead on the history, but remember, every video is someone's first video, so his history won't really change. But I'll try and add a unique look or story that reflects the figure like I did with the Brood Wolverine episode. If the figure has a more in-depth story to it, I'll get into it. But with generic street clothes outfit like this, there really isn't too much to report. There are a lot of examples of Wolverine in a cowboy hat. Perhaps my favorite image of Cowboy Wolverine would be the one where he's standing on the bar face to face with Juggernaut. It just shows how really badass Logan is. Whenever Wolverine isn't with the X-Men fighting for his life, he's often in some remote area hanging out at a dive bar trying to get drunk, even though it never lasts long because of his healing factor. Man, what a pain that must be. Wolverine first appeared in The Incredible Hulk number 180, but it was at the end of the issue. He didn't have a full-on appearance until the following issue, 181. And he didn't join the X-Men until Giant Size X-Men number 1, when he was recruited by Professor X to form the new X-Men in order to go and save the original team from the living mutant island Krakoa. He has been a central member of the team ever since. Wolverine was born James Howlett in the late 19th century in northern Alberta, Canada, to his wealthy parents John and Elizabeth Howlett. However, his real father was a groundskeeper named Thomas Logan that was having an affair with Elizabeth. After being thrown off the Howlett property, Thomas returned to the home and killed John. In retaliation, the young James killed Thomas with his bone claws that emerged from the back of his hands. After that, the young James ran away from home and grew up in a mining colony in northern Canada. Over the years, he fought in many wars and was eventually recruited into the mysterious Weapon X program. There he was experimented on, and his bones were laced with the indestructible metal called adamantium. The scientists wiped his mind so they could better control him, but Logan eventually broke free from his captors. Sometime later, he was convinced to join the Canadian superhero team Alpha Flight and was eventually tapped to hunt down the Incredible Hulk, who at the time was rampaging through Canada. It would be some years later that he was approached by Professor Xavier to join his new X-Men team, and the rest is history. Let's take a look at Wolverine's powers and abilities.
Powers and abilities: enhanced strength, stamina, durability, speed, agility, reflexes and senses, indestructible bones via adamantium, retractable adamantium claws, regenerative healing factor, extended longevity, master of various forms of combat.
Wolverine is probably best known for his razor-sharp adamantium claws, but as we said in his brief history, his claws are actually bone claws that were later coated in the indestructible metal. His mutation has granted him superhuman strength, stamina, durability, speed, agility, and reflexes. He also possesses enhanced senses. Think Super Soldier, but with heightened senses. All of his senses, his hearing, sight, smell, taste, and touch are all elevated to superhuman levels. Perhaps his greatest power, however, is his healing factor, which has granted him longevity. As we mentioned, he was born hundreds of years ago, and it also allows him to rapidly heal from any damage he takes. He's also immune to most poisons, and it even gives him some telepathic resistance. Beyond his powers, Wolverine is a master of various forms of combat. He's trained with the best masters all over the world, as well as having been trained as an elite soldier in the Weapon X program and beyond. Let's see how these powers rank on the grid. Cerebro, please pull up the power grid.
Accessing power grid. Analyzing subject.
You can find these power grids on marvel.fandom.com or on the backs of various Marvel trading cards. Our first category is strength. He's at a 4. World record bench press strength. He may be small, but he's incredibly strong, able to lift up to 800 pounds, and Logan needs that strength. lugging around that extra adamantium weight. Our next category is intelligence. He's at a 3, above average. He has an IQ higher than your average person. Some power grids have him at a 2, but the Marvel Metal card, which is the one I normally default to, has him at a 3. And it makes sense that Wolverine has an above average intelligence. People often mistake Wolverine to be a mindless animal, but having lived such a long life and spending a nice portion of that time living at a school, Wolverine is one smart ball of rage. Moving on to speed. He is at a 2, normal human speed. And although his mutant abilities grant him above average speed, that adamantium slows him down a bit, so it kinda averages out. Normal human speed. On to our next category, fighting ability. He is at a 7, invincible. There's a reason they say Wolverine is the best at what he does, and that is fighting. Training with the best masters the world has to offer, combined with all his military training, has turned him into a nearly invincible fighting machine. Next up is durability. He's at a 4, enhanced human. Somewhat difficult to permanently injure. Between his healing factor and his adamantium bones, any damage he takes can be quickly healed, and his bones are impossible to break, as well as having that skull that's impossible to penetrate. Brings a whole new meaning to the saying hard-headed, and that he is. Wolverine has been shot, dropped from high heights, and even burned alive, and always manages to heal. Moving on to our next category, agility. He is at a 4, peak human agility. Even with him weighing 300 plus pounds, his reflexes and agility are well beyond even the best athletes. On several occasions, he's been able to dodge Cyclops' optic blasts with ease. On to our final category, energy blasts. He's at a 1, no energy projection whatsoever. Although he does not have any ability to send out blasts himself, he himself has been a projectile in one of the X-Men's most famous tactics, the fastball special, where Colossus picks Wolverine up and throws him at an enemy, becoming the blast himself. Looking at his overall stats, Wolverine's enhanced strength, durability, agility are all at a 4. Combine that with his fighting ability at a 7 and an above average intelligence, Wolverine is nearly invincible. There's a reason he is one of the most popular X-Men and one of the most recognizable comic book characters in history. He is the best at what he does, and he is a key player on any team he is a part of. Whether he's on the X-Men, Avengers, Alpha Flight, or just hanging around a bar, Wolverine may be the deadliest man alive. He often takes center stage in different media like the movies and even the animated series. It's nice we get to see him as more part of the team rather than the focus, and they did a great job of that in X-Men 97 Season 1, where we really get to see him as more of a team player rather than the focus of the show. And that reminds me, Cerebro, let him know.
Be sure to check out X-Men 97 Reactions with Talent. Don't forget to subscribe.
You should definitely go check out my X-Men 97 reactions. I had a lot of fun doing it, and I'm looking forward to future seasons. And if you could, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. Every click goes a long way to helping the channel grow, and I'd greatly appreciate it. That's all for today. I'm Talent, the Eccentric Collector, reminding you, keep collecting. And until next time, Excelsior!